Good morning. Good morning. I won't have a chance to make a video in the evening because I'm going to be traveling to the capital, so I feel like doing it now because I had like really vivid dreams, and I think it's connecting with my narrative of my life. Oh wow, wait, I need to check it out something. Is it? Oh, I'm just going to do it anyway. Doesn't matter which microphone is being used. So, yeah, the dream. In my dream, there were a couple different parts. One, for example, was connecting with like some candies and me stealing candies and eating candies and feeling guilty for it and then hiding because not wanting that the person who left candies next to the bicycle will see me. And this reminded me of my childhood, how actually been shoplifting and like stealing candies. First, I don't remember how I started, but maybe it was when I was like having summer holidays at my grandmother's place in a city, and there I met this neighbor's girl, and she, I think that is connected with her that I started to steal because she somehow introduced me to stealing. I remember that I really wanted to be like a friend of hers because I had no friends there and I thought that she's cool. She was like older. One time I was having long hair and she almost like talked me into like cutting my hair short. And another time she tricked me into giving my ice cream to her and she said next time we're gonna meet, she's gonna give me like a chocolate who's like that big, like a hand. And then next time, of course, she didn't do that. So I was like young and naive girl, and it was really easy to manipulate me. And that's the theme of my life, that I wanted to have friends, and that stealing, yeah, I got robbed by her. I think this was the first time like in my life. This is how it started. I mean, I grew up with a brother, and we would like take stuff from each other, but like this is like a vivid robbery from a stranger, and like losing my ice cream over the promise of a chocolate. And yeah, then I remember as a young kid picking up some stuff from the stores in the city where my grandmother lived, like some chocolates and I don't know, it would be just some kind of, it was just like from a boredom, somehow like a challenge, some adrenaline rush, and just feeling like, wow, I really did it. And mm, yeah, and then one time I got caught when I was maybe 11 or something. And I moved to stealing like bigger things. Like, of course, you start with the smallest ones, and then you start like eventually by thinking, all right, I'm doing so well, so why don't I steal something bigger, you know? And then when I was like 11 years old, I was at my grandmother's place while my parents were in some like party, like weddings or something. And then I went to shop, and then I decided to steal like a desodorant or something. And then I got caught. And that was like so much shame. I was like so ashamed. I was like crying and like just like feeling so bad. And they called my parents and my grandmother, and they all were lecturing me, and I just like spent the day like just like devastated, just like feeling so bad. At the same time, somehow like trying to blame my parents for, I don't know, not having good enough childhood or like something like that. And yeah, well, I didn't call the police, and they let us go and said like, if you would be stealing bread like to eat, we would understand, but like you're stealing like a thing which is not like a number one like necessity for your survival, so that's kind of like mm, even worse, you know. So they kind of like saw it as like attention seeking from a young teenager, I guess. And yeah, I was just like, as I now see, I was just like advised by the demonic realm, you know. I was like, hey, you know, why don't you pick up this? You know, no one will see you. You can do that. Let's go and do this. So this is like the part of the spiritual battle which started in a really young age, you know. It started from the day I was born, I guess. I was born into like the spiritual realm where all these energies are present, and it was always those, you know, those voices which like comes out into our mind as like suggestive thoughts, and you either like act on it or you don't, you know. And if you act on it, well, they're kind of like guiding your life. That's why it said, you know, spiritual guides. And you have to know that there are like just two kinds of spiritual guides. One is from like godly realm, and one is from the fallen angels slash Lucifer slash demonic realm. And this area of your mind is where they meet, and they have different suggestive ideas, because both like the God has a mission designed for you. It's like a programmed video game which God would like you to take part and play out your character fully into this way. And at the same time, there is this demonic realm, Lucifer, fallen angel, which wants, he's imitator, you know. So if like God created us all and like is ruling it all, so and we like praise God. So Lucifer, fallen angel, demonic realm, Satan, the devil, you know, evil enemy, he wants to be praised, and he wants us to serve him. God created everything, you know, he is always higher even than anything, you know, demonic. But that doesn't mean that demonic realm not gonna like tempt you and not gonna like try to make you a servant, like a servant to the, like a dark side, because it's always like a battle. We are like humans, and you know, like who we gonna work for? Like, are we gonna work for God, or are we gonna work for demonic realm? And now what's happening, like this biggest deception is like when people are seeking for this like spiritual awakening, we are thinking that we like spiritual like awakening as people imagine it is like basically being awakened to work fully for demonic realm. It is like it is so funny because that spiritual awakening and that enlightenment, it is enlightenment of this fake light, which is Luciferian light, which is like when like the Satan himself disguised himself as the angel of light, like Lucifer do that. And yeah, that's pretty ridiculous. That it's so hard to figure it out, it all, because there's like in the sea of information. It's like how to know what is real. And yeah, I spent like my life actually being a thief. Like I mean, I I had this like emptiness inside of me, which I could not fill with like anything, and it was always just like a black hole inside of me, And in it, I would try to put information. I would put there like material things. I would put achievements there, and I would put relationships there, and all kinds of activities, journeys, art, new concepts, all kinds of spirituality, everything, magic, fantasies, dreams, food, whatever. And I would like put into that black hole, which I felt is inside of me. And I would always still be hungry. I would never feel like truly, satisfied. And I would just keep on going around the world looking what else I can put inside of there. And now, as I see, and as I was speaking this phrase, and I remembered this lines from the Bible. First Peter 5:8. Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. And as I said, we are either knowingly or unknowingly working to either side, either like for God, fulfilling his will, or we are working for Satan, which tricks us into thinking that we are fulfilling our own will. At the same time, we are just actually fulfilling his will, which is like implied for us. And we are tricked to believe that, oh, I'm doing what I want, and while being like a puppet, and the puppet master is Satan. So when I'm saying that I've been like traveling around the world and like looking what's to experience, what to put inside of me that I would feel like more full. It is basically, I can see these allegories. Since the Satan was operating through me, I was his servant, walking like that roaring lion, looking who to devour. And this is how it is. It is like the spiritual realm. It is invisible, and it is not really like it doesn't manifest any other way. It manifests through us. We are the tools, we are the vessels, and we can see all things visibly, how they operate on this earth through people. So you can, understand it through the actions of the people. But there's so much but. There's so much deception and lies because like all this dark side and how like it employs people. It's just like they mask themselves so well because they're really good actors. And at the same time, I'm not blaming human beings because, like, forgive them, Father, they don't know what they're doing. People really do not understand that they are already working for the dark side. Because this is what is so appealing, in our culture. It is praised. It's just like follow your dreams, fulfill your destiny, do what you want. You only live once. Go after it. Like, just everything about doing what you want. And with this kind of ideas, we grew up that, wow, I should really do what I want. It's all about my life. It's all about me, and I am the master of my own destiny. I'm the master of my own time, and the world is the oyster in my hand, and all kind of that stuff, which is like directly opposite from the creator's plan. God like really created this amazing game called life for the human beings, and he has a role for everyone, like the shoes to fill, and everything would play out itself nicely. But here we are now deciding like, hey, you know what? I don't believe neither in this game developer, neither in this like game plan, so I guess I'm just gonna create my own, and so bye. And this is what happens. We think that we have like a better plan for ourselves and that we have to chase it and to do exactly what we want. And if we would know that this is what the fallen angel also thought, it was like, to do what God intended us, but I want to be, I want to be God. I can do that. I think, yeah, I want to create my own destiny and I want to do whatever I like, because, and this happens. Why Lucifer is a fallen angel? What is his sin? His biggest sin was pride. Pride. He had so much pride that he believed that he could be equal or even top up God. So that kind of idea, it's like just pure pride. And that's why he was like kicked out from the heaven, the real heaven, third heaven, into the second one, into the high places, into the atmosphere around the earth, into the cosmos. Let me quote it for you. So here we go back again to Ephesians 6:12. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Heavenly realms, heavenly places, high places. From King, this was from New International Version, but from King James Bible, it is originally said, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of this darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." And yeah, there are like lots of lots of people try to describe it more precise. Where are those dark high places, and how where actually Satan and his minions are residing? And opposite from the popular belief, it's not like inside of the earth, where even if it is mentioned like a hell as a Tartarus, as like something underground where you are being like through. But while we are thinking that the evil is being like underground and all this like image created by the media and using like movies and all kind of like items of the visual culture, we are not really looking up, and while we are not looking up and not understanding that the evil operates from above us, that's how, it's a good distraction. It's like, hey, look there. And it's like, as I said, like it works like a Wi-Fi kind of. It works from above. And probably and below, like let's have like, the saying, as above, so below. So this aphorism, few phrases have become as synonymous with occultism as above, so below, and various versions of the phrase. As a part of esoteric belief, there are many applications and specific interpretations of this phrase, but many general explanations can be given. So yeah, hermetic origin, the emerald tablet, microcosm, macrocosm, Eliphas Levi, Baphomet, the hexagram. Eliphas Levi, symbol of Solomon, Roberts, floods, universe as reflection of God and alchemy. So yeah, it's like in a website of like learned religions. What is alchemy? It is everything, all these systems as you study them, they have only one goal. It is about controlling and bending your reality according your own will. So all these occult teachings are teaching you how to command your reality, how to program your reality, and how to get what you want. This is how it is. And all these trainings, it is basically how to prepare yourself to be a perfect vessel so the Satan can operate through you. Meanwhile, while rewarding you with some kind of material things which you will, oh my god, oh, it's all right. It's totally okay to serve him because I got this house and car and I have all these like bling bling, you know. So since all this material world is given to rule for Satan, so for him it's like it's nothing to give you like couple, bucks and so on to keep you locked into like working for him. And the trick is to make you think that you are working for yourself. Like to make you think that you are independent and really successful. So this is how you're gonna stay doing what you are doing. And you're gonna be like, no, this is what I did, this is what I achieved, was my idea, and I worked so hard, and there's no luck, there's no coincidence, this is what I created for myself. Me, all these things. And of course, how could you even like say anything to this kind of person who believes that he or she achieved everything himself or herself, and not seeing like this bigger picture of how actually, they were like knowingly or unknowingly like working for this dark side by fulfilling the will of these dark entities which were like operating through this perfect vessel. And yeah, the person is like taking all the rewards. Oh my god, it was totally me. And what was happening all this time while this person was like building all that awesome career, or like I don't know, building muscles, or like building some kind of like goals and like manifestations, build reality for themselves. They were definitely not looking into, neither Bible, neither calling for Jesus, or being obedient to like original game creator God. So this is why it works for Satan. I mean, as long as he can keep us playing his game, we are not gonna be playing, the God's game that he created for us. So basically, we have all these players who are human beings, and we have these two games. And yeah, what is the funny thing about like God's game, that he's not even trying to advertise it as like really like a attractive game, or he's just like, I mean, he created everything, so he's obviously, he's God, he's devour, he's like the most powerful like force. And anyway, God doesn't need to prove anything to you. That's pretty good thought, isn't it? Like God doesn't need to prove you literally like anything, because God is just God, and he, yeah, he's all right. He's being there all the time. He's like outside all the time, and there are lots of players, and he loves everyone, as his child. But he gave us free will to choose. Do we want to love him and to be on his side, or we want to rebel and do it our own way and be on the side of his enemy, Satan? So it is like a father having like growing like a kids who are like teenagers. And some people spend their life not growing up at all, just like being constantly like a teenagers, and it's like rebel all my life, and taking pride in being like wicked and doing shitty stuff, and just like proud of stealing, and just like treating people like shitty, and just like thinking that, wow, I achieved it all. This is like such a huge delusion, believing that it's like you're not that powerful. It's like, just stop. Like, there are these forces, and you are just a human being, and it's like it's either one is working through you, either another. On your own, you cannot do shit. That's how it is. And we have so much pride that we think somehow that, oh, like like a King Solomon was like the most wisest person on this earth, and at the same time the biggest fool, because from his wisdom he understands like how basically divine matter, operates. And then he wrote the silver key on the Solomon and decided he can actually command the spirits. mm, Lesser key of Solomon, also known as claviculum Solomonis regis, or lemegaton. It is said that it is anonymous grimoire or spell book, but yeah, we know that the King Solomon credited itself on demonology. And what is that demonology? Well, it is consulting the invisible world and hiring spirits to do your biddings, to fulfill your wishes. And this is like literally like making a deal. You're kind of like making a business deal with the dark side, saying like, hey, all right, so I won that castle, so how are we gonna do that? Can you like come and like give it to me? That would be cool. I give you like a week. And the biggest trick, deception, it is like thinking that, well, I could totally command all these spirits, and I'm not gonna have any like, I won't need to face any consequences, and nothing bad will ever happen to me. And because I'm so powerful, I'm gonna protect myself with like some more spells and visualizations, and I don't need to give nothing back for these spirits and dark forces that I'm hiring, because I'm so powerful that I just command them, and then I'm just like whoop, like banishing them, and it's gone. So I got what I want, and I don't need to give nothing back. So all this pride that a human being has, imagine like so much pride as you think that you can steal from devil, and he's not gonna get you. That's cute. That is really cute that we have so much like confidence and believe that it is possible. Not gonna ever get caught. Well, one thing for sure, that if we would read like Bible before, which is like this game instruction that God like created for us, and gave us this book to read, what he is saying, like, if you're gonna do this, you're like kind of out. You're gonna be out. So let's see about like what is written about like magic in the book, in the Bible. Okay. I need to pause on this side. So in 1 Samuel 15:23, for rebellion is like the sin of divination, and arrogance like the evil of idolatry. Because you have rejected the word of the Lord, he has rejected you as king. If you reject the word of the Lord, then yeah, he's saying for that you reject Samuel. That means that you're not gonna get anything good, and you're not gonna. Like this is like the classical thing of like you're selling your soul. I mean, this is the only price. Like if you die, then you goodbye. You've been working with this dark side, so you can hang out there for like eternity. So what else it's saying? And Second Chronicles 33:6. He sacrificed his children in the fire in the valley of Ben Hinnom, practiced divination and witchcraft, sought omens, and consulted mediums and spiritists. He did much evil in the eyes of the Lord, arousing his anger. So our Father is saying to us pretty clearly in the Bible and really lots of times that kids like don't go and play with the evil. It's just I'm gonna be angry and I'm not gonna be satisfied at all. So I need divinations, invocations of the spirits, consulting the world of the dead, and just imagine, even when people say, "But I am talking with my dead parents," it's like you're not talking with your dead parents. This is how the devil pretends to be your dead parents, and you are literally talking with the devil. So it doesn't. It's just lies and deception. Satan is the father of lies, and all this witchcraft. All when you're doing some kind of like spells, and you are doing it because you think that you can do everything according to your own will. You command your reality. You are making things happen according to the way you like that. This is like opposite from what God is telling us, which is saying like, hey, I have this great plan for you. Listen to me. You're gonna be super happy and everything's gonna be really amazing in your life, You have a certain path that I want you to walk through and have faith, have faith in God's plan, and then you will have your soul not sold to the evil, and you're gonna have eternity after this short period of time, which is our life is over. You have eternity back from where you came from, and it's gonna be really cool there. So everything, if you keep on playing with the dark side, you cannot be, with the bright side, light side. So it's just it's our choice. you go, it's like one way or another way. And it is clearly said God and for Satan at the same time. So it's said in the Matthew 6:24. And the New International Version says, "No one can serve two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money." So in different versions, for example, in this King James Bible version, it is said you cannot serve God and mammon. And mammon is this personification, like as a deity of money and material wealth. And in other Bible versions, it is referred as you cannot serve God and wealth. For example, in New American Standard Bible. So material things, money, everything what you can gain, everything like you can, touch and grab on, and like what exists in this material world. This is, as I was said in before, after the human beings fell, Adam and Eve, and this all earth, the first heaven was given to rule for Satan, which is in the second heaven. Yeah, in the first, God in the third. And everything what is on this earth belongs to Satan. So when you are making your wishes, and different cultures like have different like imageries of these forces that fulfill your wishes. It could be like a making a wish and asking like, oh, like a jinn or like some. mm, Well, in Lithuanian we even have like a caucus. That means like magical spirit who visit you and like brings money and stuff. And you have from all different continents. They, since the Tower of Babel was destroyed and the people like were scattered all around the earth, but mm, these like ideas that they had when they wanted, to build a tower so tall that they could reach the heavens, or that the flood, when being sent by God, would not destroy them, and this pride, and like believing that, oh no, we can get what we want and we don't need to ask God, we don't need to listen to God. This like really remained in humans' mentality, and everyone have like different like images how those spirits who brings them what they want looks like, and it is all written down in the fairy tales. It is like so deeply imprinted in the unconscious, into the culture, and like there are various and different archetypes of all these like entities and spirits who can fulfill your will, which you can pray for and you can hire them. Like it is all these like false religions. This is how it operates, like, oh, just like ask like Shiva to protect you, and it's like everything is working as the distraction from the real true God, because it's also like more appealing to people. We are living like in this now material world. It's like, hey, I want really fast money and I need like really something. So I don't know if God will give that to me. So I guess I don't know. I'm just gonna like pray for this mystical I don't know, some kind of like deity who looks cool, and I'm just gonna do some ritual and just like, oh, and then it's enough to make an intention and like to do some small action, and of course, like the demonic realm wants to have you and your soul, so they're gonna reply, they're gonna fulfill that wish, so they could get you hooked on it. And it's just funny how I heard like one girl saying that the devil fulfills your wish, but it delivers kind of like the cheapest version of it, just like a drug dealer, just like to keep you hooked. And then you think, wow, it's worked, but maybe not exactly in the way I want, but yeah. So why would you like want to, stop doing that? You would be like, oh wow, it worked, and I get this thing, and ta. And especially when I'm looking at people who are making like careers now by knowingly or unknowingly serving for the dark forces, of course you get like so like high of that feeling of like power, and how you are like, wow, everything happens what I want, I'm the master of my faith, and yeah, like people are doing what I'm telling them to do, and I'm like, I'm a queen, I'm a king, and just like, oh. And it's like so funny that we like do not understand that it was all the time that we've been like just the puppets. Just like there's like a huge invisible force in the high places. This puppet master, And while we are imagining that, wow, it's me who created this. I did that. I'm the magician. I'm the alchemist. I am God. That all the time it was just like the fallen angel, acting out through us. And there's so much methods and so that he has, and because he needs to invent new lie time to time to get us, hooked. Because if we would just like figure out one lie, and then it's like game over to him. Like God is always like the same and never changing, and like his words and like the truth is really not changing. But Satan is like a king of lies, and he feels like as a home in his lies. So John 8:44 in King James Version is saying, "Ye are of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father ye will do." See? This is like being addressed to a person who is obviously channeling like this satanic, demonic, acting out on those like thoughts and like working for this like dark side, knowingly or unknowingly. And imagine like for this kind of person, it is being said that you are of your father, the devil. That means that you are working now for Satan, devil, and you are as his child doing what being told by him, because it said, and the lusts of your father you will do. That means that Satan has the lust for power and for needs to be praised. Like he is he fell, he was kicked out, from heaven because he wanted to be like God. So his lust is to be like God, worshipped like God, and to build everything, like create empires like God created the earth. He wants to create, like, he's creating copies of everything what God has been created. Like, if even like if God created intellect, like Satan is creating artificial intellect. If like God created a human being, Satan is creating cyborgs and artificial human beings. And it follows in this John 8:44. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. So if you would even like check this person who is like working for his father, Satan, fulfilling his lusts on this earth, like a person could be so much deceived that person believes what she or he is saying and doesn't see nothing wrong with what he or she is doing, because as you work for the father of lies, the lie, it seems like you're home for you. You feel home in your lie, so you can pass like a lie detector basically with that. And this is why when you work for the devil, you could be like a perfect, like a selling agent. You can like sell any kind of crap, and you can lie to people's faces without blinking, because you feel at your eyes like at home. You are so deceived that it seems like, wow, this is your truth now. Lie becomes your truth, and you will have so much pride as well. Like you're gonna be like, hey, I am this great artist. I have created all this empire, and like people are like bowing to me now. And if you like would zoom out, you would see that, wow, this is like exactly what Lucifer would be saying. And you can clearly like recognize how a person is like channeling, that Luciferian energy. And it was like not his work. He's like just fulfilling his like father's lusts. And I'm like, all right, all right, all right. So it is so easy identify if you know the lusts of the fallen angel, of this big rebel Satan, of and it is not that original. I mean, it is just like a greed for power. There's like also sexual lust, and also it works together with all kind of like mm, unhealthy addictions for like either uh, consuming too much, it's like drinking too much, like overeating, like drugs. It's just like unmarital relationship, and just like being like a mean, a liar, like a perfect actor. It's just like stealing, and just like stealing, robbing, like killing, destroying, and deceiving, just making all the nasty like things. And which, for example, if you had like some shitty relationships, you can like remember how the evil was operating through those people, and you can like really like see, oh, yeah, exactly. Especially like I had like made myself when I was in my early 20s that Satan is my boyfriend, and I was like truly seeking to date that type of bad boys. I have really lots of experience and what we call like oh, he's like this narcissistic type or something. Oh, he is just like satanic type. That's the type, you know. It's like yeah. So it is really worthy to study the profile of Satan. Where is that phrase about? Like, so from John 10:10, the thief comes only to take the sheep and to put them to death. He comes for their destruction. I have come so that they may have life and have it in greater measure. So the thief comes only in order to steal, kill, and destroy. The thief, Satan, fallen angel, dark forces, egoistical, manifesting as all these like egoistical desires that you think that you are fulfilling your own ideas, your own wishes. You know, beware, because Satan doesn't come here to give you all this material like luxury and just hey, you have it. I don't need nothing in return, you know? No. It's clearly said. He's coming here to steal, to kill, and to destroy. And if you're like if it's working through you, being like a relationship, like now he is your father and you are your child. So you're doing everything according to his will and fulfilling dark side's will. It's like and being fooled that you are doing your own will, but you are fucking slave, you're a servant. And eventually you're gonna be destroyed. This is what happened from Faustus, for example, when he sold his soul to the devil and was able to experience all these like crazy things, you know, Dr. Faustus. And we all know how that fairy tale is ending. Well, for those who do not know. Maybe there's some. So it is the tragical history of the life and death of Dr. Faustus, commonly referred to simply as Dr. Faustus. It is an Elizabethan tragedy by Christopher Marlowe based on German stories about the title character Faust. So, Dr. Faustus, a well respected German scholar, grows dissatisfied with the limits of traditional forms of knowledge, logic, medicine, law, and religion, and decides that he wants to learn to practice magic. Thirst for knowledge. This is exactly how the Eve was like tricked to take a bite of the apple in the Garden of Eden, because just like this thirst for knowledge, not being satisfied with knowing as much as you know, and yeah, Satan tricked Eve, and Dr. Faustus was also tricked by Satan, and this is like quite a tragic story. It's Satan gonna steal from you and gonna steal your soul. So we can choose who we're gonna work for, dark side or our creator God, right? Just like a really bright side. So that's pretty much what I wanted to share today about stealing, about being aware of what's going on or not aware, and It's like if you do not know that the game between black and white is happening, you are not. It doesn't excuse you, you know. You are still in the game. And it's like when people say, "Oh, but I don't want to be like." You're talking about the spiritual warfare all the time, but what if I don't want to be in this like warfare? I'm like refusing to fight. I'm like, you are deceived. You are already working for the dark side. I haven't taught that girl this praise, but she is. She's working on the dark side. All right, Jesus, what is the message for today for us? Please let us know where should I focus. All right. I will sit enthroned on the mount of assembly. Oh, the full. No, this is like, oh, everything is very beautiful. How you have fallen from heaven, O morning star, son of the dawn. Wow, Jesus. Jesus is actually talking about the fallen angel, morning star Lucifer. You have been cast down to the earth, you who once laid low the nations. You said in your heart, I will ascend to heaven. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will sit enthroned on the mount of assembly, on the utmost heights of the sacred mountain. I will ascend above the tops of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High. Wow, Jesus perfectly referred to this like resume of how much pride did this fallen angel had. You see, he's like threatening that I'm gonna rise higher, like gonna sit on the throne, like even higher than where God is with the stars. But you are brought down to the grave, to the depths of the pit. Here you go. Pride comes before the fall. Those who see you stare at you, they ponder your fate. Is this the man who shook the earth and made kingdoms tremble? The man who made the world a desert, who overthrew its cities and would not let his captives go home? All the kings of the nations lie in state, each of his own tomb. But you are cast out of your tomb like a rejected branch. You are covered with the slain, with those pierced by the sword, those who descend to the stones of the pit. Like a corpse trampled underfoot, you will not join them in burial, for you have destroyed your land and killed your people. The offspring of the wicked will never be mentioned again. Prepare a place to slaughter his sons for the sins of their forefathers. They are not to rise to inherit the land and cover the earth with their cities. I will rise up against them, declares the Lord Almighty. I will cut off from Babylon her name and survivors, her offspring and descendants, declares the Lord. I will turn her into a place for owls and into swampland. I will sweep her with the broom of destruction, declares the Lord Almighty. So, yep, Satan is full of pride, like wants like to just like full of anger and like this like rage. I'm just gonna like be more powerful than God and like go and sit on the throne and rule everything. And God is like, Satan, please. I'm just gonna like swipe you and all what you like have here, like as the broom. So this is everything what is on this like earth, all those things, materials. God is just like saying, there. Yeah, you're funny. It is like Satan is defeated fall. And so he hears out with like this fallen angels like threatening him, like, I'm gonna beat this and that, and I'm gonna rule. And like, God is like, sure, I'm just gonna destroy everything, whatever you're gonna build. And all the people who followed you and everything. And in the Bible, it is said the defeat of Satan in Revelations 27:10. And when the 1,000 years are ended, Satan will be released from his prison, and he will come out to deceive the nations that are at the four corners of the earth. This is like what's happened after, like, Jesus gonna come back to earth and he gonna like imprison Satan, and yeah. And he will come out to deceive the nations that are at the four corners of the earth. Gog and Magog together them for battle. Their number is like the sand of the sea. So they're gonna be, yeah, lots of little helpers of Satan. And they marched up over the broad plain of the earth and surrounded the camp of the saints and the beloved city. But fire came down from heaven and consumed them, and the devil who had deceived them was thrown into the lake of fire and sulfur, where the beast and the false prophet were, and they will be tormented day and night forever and ever. So yeah, even though it might look like that, oh wow, there's so much people like working for Satan on this earth and just like fulfilling his will, but I mean, it is clearly written like in these like revelations, and like God got this, like it's God never loses. So this is why I'm not gonna be on a team of losers. Like, no, thank you. I'm just gonna be on Team God. And yeah, God gonna just throw them all into the pit of fire where they're gonna burn forever and ever. So yeah, I'm glad that I'm aware now, who I'm working for. And it's like I really humbled myself because God is the Father is great because He's really like allows to choose if you do you want to love me or you don't. It's not. I'm not forcing it to you. You can choose, or you want to be with these guys who are gonna be burning in the pit of fire. Free will. So I'm like really learning a lot about obedience and being more humble, and there's a set of rules that we are being asked to follow and stop you know being like deceived by the enemy and stop working for the enemy. This is not gonna end well, and it's clearly said that it's not gonna end well. So instead of enjoying all these like temporary and like bodily like pleasures and the riches of this material world, should actually make this a distraction. This is a distraction, and we are being kept in this like a game by this puppet master, Satan. So we would not care about our like soul and eternity with our Father. So it's good to figure out that before dying, isn't it? All right, so that's much for today, and yeah, let's stay close to Jesus, and He's our Lord and Savior, and through Him we have our sins are washed, and the gateways open to communicate with our true Creator and one and only Lord, our God. So blessings to you and enjoy your life.